So the British, they took a lot of the wealth of the country, and they caused them to kill each other. And so then eventually the whole state breaks up, and then eventually India is split into East and West Pakistan, and then Bangladesh, and all of these other countries. That's maybe for another time. But what I want to finish with today is the Muslim contributions to India in their 700 to 1,000 years of rule of some or all of India. This is very important. So this is what the Muslims have provided. Number one, the oneness of God, or the oneness of the supreme God. Hindus believe in multiple deities. But the one thing that the Muslims have had an influence on the Hindus is that even the Hindus believe in one Khuda. They talked about the high one. They might have other deities, but they still have this very reinforced belief that one is the highest. Right? It's still shirk with all the others, in whatever form it is, but at least that was really, and this is by K.M. Panika, he's discussed this, that Muslims helped the Hindus focus on the one supreme God among all the other deities. Right? Number two, equality. That was a message brought by the Muslims, and I have already mentioned, this is something that even Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, one of the leaders of India later, he talked about the equality principle, that's definitely something that the Muslims had an impact on the Indian society. Right, because through their caste system and so on. Then I've already mentioned to you how they used to go to Buddhism, escape to Buddhism first, then they started coming to Islam after that. Number three, the rights of women. Can you believe it? The rights of women. And what was that? The Hindus have, it's a historical issue now, I don't think it happens much anymore. It's called sati, right, or sati. You know what is it, with a tashdid or without? Is it sati or sati? Sati, I've seen both spellings. Sati. So that was that a widow on her husband's death would literally burn herself alive on the top of the funeral, pyre, right? That was, now one thing is many of the Muslim leaders, Mughals and others, they would not encroach on the religion. They would not try to get involved in it. However, on this particular issue, they would try to discourage people. They would discourage the women. Why are you doing this, and so on. So, according to many historians, for example, Dr. Bernier, in his travels in the Mughal Empire, said that it has decreased a lot because of the Muslims. Okay, good. 5 minutes, that's all I need. Number four, recording history. Until the Muslims came, Hinduism has been there for centuries before, but until the Muslims came, there was no history of India. Except what was found in the Ramayana and the Gita, their religious books, the bit of historical incidents in there. There was no proper books on history, no record of history. Muslims have always loved history, the various things about hadith and everything that gave rise to history in every sense. That's actually allowed now for a lot of the record of Indian history to be written. That's another Muslim influence.